Good morning, good morning to everybody. I am up and at it, and I'm getting myself dressed and ready for work. Grand and beautiful morning to everybody. And I just want to hop on here because I want to talk about relationships. But not just any particular relationships between older men and younger women. And y'all excuse me, but I'm just putting primer on my face because I'm getting ready, I'm getting ready for work, and I just I gotta be right, basically. The reason I'm talking about this topic this morning on relationships between older men and younger women because I don't think it's talked about enough. The only type of thing you really hear regarding relationships when it comes to older men and younger women is when it's pertaining to really celebrities. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna put some lotion on first before I put my face on my face. It's really between celebrities. And I'm just going to give a little bit of advice when it comes to older men and younger women, especially marriages, but basically in general, but especially marriages. Older men and younger women relationships, they do work. They can work. They will work. But you have to go into it realizing that, especially if it's a marriage and you want it to be one that lasts, you're going to have to go into it realizing that, let's have my rose lotion, realizing that there's going to come a time when the gentleman is older and, just able to do less. I'm just going to say that. So there's a price to pay when it comes to these types of relationships. This is my base coat. Yeah, I got to protect my face as well. There are certain things you need to put into thinking about and going over and also discussing, because if the older man is really serious and really loves you, he's going to make sure that in the long run, you are taken care of in every way possible. There's no ifs, ands, or buts to that. He should want to make sure that you are taken care of all the way around when the time comes when he's less capable of doing. Basically, we can call it securing your future. There is always give and take in any relationship. I don't care what anyone says. Relationships, especially marriages, are contracts. I don't care what anyone says about that because it's true. Where is my looking for that now? It's true. It's contracts, and it's things that you should really think about before you just jump in and say, yes, I do, and all of those different things like that. It's a lot of things you need to think about. To me, in relationships where the man is much older, I don't feel as if the woman who is basically giving up her youth, when you think about it, she's giving up her youth if he is one of those that's unable to really give her the best things in the world. She is really giving up a lot of her youth, a lot of the time that she can experience life. Just so many things that she's giving up. in the long run, because I don't care how you look at it, in the long run, you know, if there's no like unfortunate accidents or something like that, or, illnesses amongst her, in the long run, she's going to be totally taking care of him. Totally. Now, she already went her whole youth, giving her youth to him, being with him, spending all of her time with him, concentrating on him, doing things for him, being with him, she's already given up like a lot of her youth and time where she could have easily been with someone more closer than her age, especially if the man is not very well off. She has given up like a big, huge part of her life. She's given up a big, huge part of her life. And you have to be careful, because in a lot of these relationships, these matters or this matter is discussed in the beginning. And of course, the gentleman is going to be like, yo, yeah, I'm going to make sure. And oh, yeah, that makes sense. And I agree. And all of that. But as time goes on, he tends to forget. A lot of the times, they tend to forget what they said in the beginning. They start to fall back on some of the things that they do. They start to fall back. Not everybody. This is some people. They'll start to fall back on a lot of things that they said they would do. And you have to be careful of that. So, I'm sorry, y'all, but y'all know I be getting dressed like crazy. So, what I'm saying is, if you are going to choose, ladies, young ladies, if you're going to choose to be in a relationship with a much older man, if you're going to choose to do that, no way that you should have to have any types of worries, especially if you're going to marry this gentleman. There is no way you should have or have to worry about any types of worries, how you're going to do this, how you're going to do that. In my opinion, even if you do have a job, you should not have to pay any bills. And this is my opinion. You should not have to be paying any bills. You can pay them if you want to, but it should not be, something that you have to do. To me, in these type of relationships, you should be fully taken care of, because you are giving up, again, a huge, huge part of your life. A huge part of your life. If everything goes in chronological order, in the end, you're going to be taking care of him. And a lot of times in these situations, you're going to go through surgeries with this person, helping them recover, taking care of them, just doing a whole bunch of different things. And then you're not making sure that you are covered. And I'm really talking not just in the present time, whatever present time that may be, but in the future. If you have like no type of knowledge on what will happen if this happened to you, where will I live? How will I be taken care of? How will my bills be getting paid? A whole bunch of different things. Is there a will? Because you have given up, basically you're giving up your life. Not to sound like bold, but you are. You are giving up your life. And so a lot of your needs should be an automatic with that man. If you gotta constantly ask him for something, and every time you ask him for something, it's like you gotta feel like it's a hassle, you might want to rethink that relationship, and who you are choosing to be with. You might want to rethink that. Another thing is, if you are in a relationship with an older man, ladies, and he can't provide or take you on the trips that you want to go on, or, you know, just make sure you're good in every aspect. Or another thing is he's trying to change you. Basically, if you are in a relationship where the older man is trying to have you behave and just be more like his age, that ain't gonna work. That is just not going to work. You know, you have to really be careful with this type of scenario. You have to really be careful with that. And I'm not saying all of this to be mean or anything, but you just do. It's all gone. I'm not saying this to be mean or anything, but if this is what you're choosing to do, then you should be doing it the right way. You know, it's, when you look at it, it's truly an investment. It really is. Because if you are in a relationship, married, or just in a long-term relationship with an older gentleman, and you still have to pay all your bills and do everything for yourself, and every time you ask him for something, it seems to be a big deal. What do you need him for? Seriously. I mean, look at it. That's with any relationship, but what do you need him for? You know? And I'm not trying to sound like a gold digger or anything, because, yeah, you may love the person dearly. But when you really start to think about it on the more logical side of it, you don't want to set yourself up for the okie doke, and in the end, you have nothing but time that you can't get back. So we have to be careful with that, guys. We have to really, really, really be careful with that. You know, and I don't think a lot of our ladies, young ladies, tend to think in that manner. You know, it's nice and it's beautiful to have love, and it's nice and it's beautiful to have a relationship with somebody that you do love and you can trust and all of those things. It's a wonderful feeling. It's great. But what about your future? You have to think about your future. Ooh, your future means a lot, especially if you had children previously, or maybe a previous marriage or relationship. You got to even think about their future, you know, secure that bag. It's so important, and a lot of people don't want to think about that when it comes to getting married, settling down, and that's unfortunate. Most people, if you guys think about it, even when you go to these funerals or you hear of someone passing away and you find out, wow, they didn't even have insurance, life insurance. This person didn't even, what is their wife going to do? What is the wife going to do? How's the wife going to take care of herself? Because that wasn't even discussed. That's not even discussed. And y'all know I'm for real. I'm not trying to sound cruel or wrong, but y'all know, y'all see it all the time. They collecting these GoFundMes. What is it? GoFundMes and stuff like that. Like, wow, this person didn't even have insurance, so therefore now they got to basically start all over because they had nothing. They didn't take care of those, the basic things that should have been taken care of in a relationship. You know, I'm very heavy into, and I truly believe that, yes, take care of your man. But is that man taking care of you? Is he really looking out for your future? Has he set time to the side to make sure you have the best, you know? And that's why, one of the reasons why I say I don't think that the woman or wife should even have to work if she didn't want to. He should be able to take care of her. Because, again, she's given up a lot of herself to him in these situations, these type of relationships. She's given up like a lot of herself. And so working for her outside of the home, I'm saying, I feel that every woman should have some sort source of income, period. Ain't no getting around that. But that should be by choice. But again, ladies, always have some source of income for yourself and education, because you never know. You just never know. And that's just a must. That's a must, okay? That is an absolute must. And just because you are in a relationship with an older gentleman, regardless of how he may be feeling, always keep your appearance up. I don't care. If you got to get up a little bit earlier than normal, then that's what you do. But you should be keeping up your appearance regardless of whatever is going on. Appearance. Keep up your appearance. That's so very important. So, I just need to talk about that, So, in any relationship, if you have to go through like a bunch of red tape or feel like you're going through a bunch of red tape just to ask for anything or get anything from a gentleman, especially if he's your husband, but period, because I don't think any woman should be wasting her time on any man that every time she needs something, she feels like she has to be going through red tape and getting all these questions asked and all of that. But especially in a marriage, are you kidding me? Like, that is like the worst feeling ever, when you have to feel as if you're pulling or sawing off somebody's leg just to get something from them. And if they ever throw it up in your face, you really need to rethink that relationship that you're in. But this is how I truly feel, if you are going to be in it for the long haul and the long run of it, don't just be thinking with what people call your heart, because that's not your heart. Your heart has little to do with it, your emotions. But the logical side is you should be making sure your bag is secured at all times. But especially in these older men, younger women relationships. If you don't know what your future holds, if you don't know if something's going to happen to him, if you don't know, if this wasn't to work out or something happened, how you're going to be taken care of, if he's never discussed any type of policies with you, or where would you live, where would you go, if he's not trying to make sure that you are in only the best types of neighborhoods and living very well, 9 times out of 10 you're with the wrong gentleman, because he's really in that marriage only for his gratification. And you guys know what I mean. He's being selfish, and he's really only concerned about the things that he can get out of it. He's not concerned about you at all. If he knows he has the abilities to put you in a better situation and he still chooses not to, you're in the wrong marriage. You're in the wrong relationship. You are in the wrong relationship, because when you are a younger woman and you get in your prime and you got all of your youth and you looking good, if you think about it, you can pretty much be with anybody you want to, but you are choosing to be with him because, okay, wrong one, because yes, you do love him, but at the same time, you can't just think real foolish behind that. You can't just think real foolish behind that. That just don't make any sense. So we have to be a little bit more careful, because, in any relationship with the right type of woman anyway, you are definitely the prize. He should be chasing you. You should be not putting your entire foot forward for any man, especially when you know you're a good woman. You could pretty much live your life, especially, if you already paying your own bills, you already got your own car, you're already able to do everything that's necessary for you to have a quality of life. You better ask yourself, okay, so what am I getting out of this relationship with this older man besides my youth being taken away? You just have to think about that. You really have to think about that. And I'm not saying this again, y'all, to sound mean, but it's been something I've been thinking about it, and I've been thinking about futures and all of those things like that, And that man should also be your number one supporter, provider, protector, all of those things. And so therefore, when you are feeling like that, and you feel all of that protectiveness and concern and cared about, and you know that you're being taken care of properly, younger women will take care of that older man like with no problems at all. That's just how it goes. That's really just how it goes. It would be absolutely no problem doing what's expected of you. No problem at all. It will basically be your pleasure to do those things. It will be your pleasure to do those things, take care of your man in every way possible. But you better make sure your bag is secure too. Don't be foolish. Do not be foolish, because in the end you will definitely pay for it. And you don't want to be stuck out in the rain or stuck out in the cold in the long run, because only thing you were thinking about was, I love him. Yes, you do love him sincerely, but at the same time, you just can't disregard life in itself. You can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot just disregard life in itself, because when it's all over, said and done, and he's no longer available, and you gave up 10 years of your life, 10 plus years of your life, and when it's all over, said and done, you out in the cold looking like, well, how am I going to take care of myself? Now you got older. He's no longer here. You don't want to be by yourself. You have nothing secured. Nothing's left for you. Nothing was ever discussed in regards to your future and all of that. Where they do that at, y'all? It just don't make any sense. So again, if you choose to be in a relationship, marriage, or whatever with an older gentleman, it should be where you are being taken care of and all of your needs and wants are being provided for. That is truly how I feel. And if that person disagrees with it, that's their right. That's their right to disagree. You can disagree. Yeah. But hopefully that person is being honest up front with his intentions, so you won't waste your time. I know I sit around a lot and think about my future, and those are some very, very important things to think about. So you should never be wanting for anything. Your future should be secured. You shouldn't have to pay anything, have to. If you want to, that's your choice, but you shouldn't have to. And I'm talking about older relationships where it's like at least a 15-year difference, okay? Older men, younger women, because there's a lot of things you are giving up as a younger woman. There's a lot of things you are giving up. A lot, especially if he's not rich. There's a lot of things you are giving up to be in that marriage or relationship with that man. So the littlest that he can do is make sure that you are having a great quality of life, and he is providing everything that you want. And when you need something or you want something, you ask him, he gives it to you without a hesitation. He's able to do that, because if he's not able to do that, why do you need him? I mean, seriously, why? That's just basically telling you right there what your future is holding if you choose to stay in that relationship with that gentleman. What your future is holding. If he can't do the things that you need him to do, then what do you need him for? Because you can really be in your own place, paying your own bills, doing your own thing, traveling, not have to feel obligated to anything or anyone. You can really be doing that on your own. Yes, you can. So I'm saying this because I know it's going to be a lot of people that disagree, but I want to make this video anyway. I don't plan on working all my life. I feel like I shouldn't have to work outside of the home right now. That's just the way I feel. So I'm working towards working for self, successfully, of course. And if I choose to work outside the home, it's a choice. It's not because I have to. It's not because I have to. Multiple sources of income is the way to go. But I want to give that quick message that if you are in a relationship with an older man, younger woman, and I'm talking about at least 15 plus years, heck, it could even be 10, depending on the gentleman, you should not have to come out of your pocket for anything. Your future should be secured. Those discussions should have been met. If he's able to do things to give you a better quality in your future, he should be doing that without being told. If you choose not to work, you shouldn't have to work. And when you ask him for something, he should be the first one to give it to you with no questions. That's just how I feel, guys. A lot of people are going to disagree with me with this, but this is truly how I feel. And I'm sticking to it. And it's not that you're using the person or you only want the person for those things. It's that you're giving up your youth. You're giving up a lot of different things in your life because you're younger, because you're spending it with him. You're dedicating it with him. In the long run, if everything goes in chronological order, you're going to be taking care of him. 9 times out of 10, he's going to have had some type of surgeries where you have to take care of him because you're his wife or you're his girlfriend or whatever. So it's really like, okay, I know you're sincere. I know you're my woman. I know you're my wife. I'm going to make sure that you are taken care of as well, instead of you giving away so much. Because remember, time is one thing you can never, ever get back. That's all.